Hi viewers, this is Sri Ramulu. So today's topic is basic of BJT, bipolar junction transistor, right? So it is a basics or certain definitions of BJT, bipolar junction transistor, right? Bipolar junction transistor, right? So by BJT means bipolar junction transistor. So about transistor, that means now sandwiching of one type of semiconductor material between two layers of the other type is called as transistor. Yet sandwiching means between two, if there are the two materials, in between those two materials if you keep one more different material, that is called sandwiching. For example, let here we have the p type materials. For this p type material, this side join n type material and this side join n type material. So see, these two materials are same but middle material is different. This process is known as sandwich. So thereby sandwiching like this, then this is called transistor. Okay, when a layer of p type, see, when a layer of p type material is when a layer of p type material is sandwiched between two layers of n type material. So this side one layer, this side another layer, like this two layers, then it forms npn transistor. Between two layers of n type material, the transistor is known as npn transistor. Similarly, when a layer of n-type material is sandwiched between two layers of p-type material, the transistor is known as npn transistor. Right here, similarly, n-type material, see, it is n-type material letter. It is sandwiched with a p-type material, p, then it forms p-n-p transistor. A transistor has following sections. So in the transistor, three sections are there. So among them, first section is emitter, next section is base, and the last section is collector. Emitter, this forms the left hand section, right? Left hand section or region, either section or region of transistor, right? So that means if it is a transistor, okay, so this left side is what? It is emitter, middle is a base, and right side section or region is collector. Okay, see clearly, right? It is a emitter section, base section, collector section, like this. This forms a left hand section or region of transistor. The main function of this region is to supply majority charge carriers, either holes or electrons. Okay, either holes of, not of, it is either holes or electrons, to the base, and hence it is more heavily doped in comparison to the other region. So comparing to remaining two regions, it is heavily doped, right? So its main work is it sends a majority charge carriers to the base, right? It sends majority charge carriers to the base. That is the main function of emitter. But actual diagram can be shown. Schematic diagram of transistor is like this only. So this is in this on the transistor, arrow mark will present. So this side is emitter, so which side is there is no arrow, that is simply collector. The arrow side is always called as emitter side. So it is emitter region or it is emitter region, but arrowhead is sometime outward, sometime inward. So it indicates whether it is NPN or PNP transistor. For example, see here, So for example, let it is one what let this is a one transistor, okay, and arrow is outward, right? Arrow is outward. It generally arrow mark always from P to N. Arrow mark is always P to N means, so arrow mark is this side means here P type material present and this side N type material present. So that means middle P type, outer edge is N type, then it is also N type. So that is why it is NPN transistor. So see outward arrow. Next about inward arrow. Suppose it is on transistor, inward arrow like this. Okay, inward arrow. So inward arrow means just now I said arrowhead is always from P to N. So that means this side P is there, it is N. So if it is P, then this is also P, right? So it is PNP transistor. Okay, so like this you have to understand depending upon arrow mark only whether the given transistor is NPN or PNP transistor. And next base. The the middle section of transistor is known as base. Middle section. This is very lightly doped and very thin as compared to either emitter or collector. If you compare with the collector or emitter, its size is small in size, and the doping is also less. Okay, lightly doped is, it is not heavily doped like a emitter. Okay, emitter is heavily doped, base is lightly doped. Okay, and its size is very thin. So that it may pass most of the injected charge carriers to the collector. Main work of base is to send. So emitter is it sends the majority charge carriers to the base, and base work is it passes these majority charge carriers to the collector. So its work is to allow to pass majority charge carriers to the collector. Next, collector. The right hand section of transistor is called as collector. Right hand section. Okay, right hand section. See here, right hand section. It is a collector. Right side. Now see clearly. Left side is emitter. Right side is collector. Middle is base. And size also different. See, size also given. Its size is small. Its size is larger. It is again very much large. Collector size always greater than the size of the emitter and base. Okay, right hand section of the transistor is called collector, and the main function of collector is to collect majority charge carriers through the base. This is moderately doped. See, main function of collector is it collects the majority charge carrier from base. So see here first from beginning. It is emitter, base, collector. Emitter what its function is what? It allow the majority charge carriers to base. Inject the majority charge carrier to the base. Base can pass this majority charge carrier to the collector. Collector collects these majority charge carriers. Okay, like this. And see collector how it is doped. It is moderately doped. Nor it is neither heavily doped nor lightly doped, but it is moderately doped. Okay, see here emitter is heavily doped, base is lightly doped, collector is moderately doped. Okay, so like this these are the certain definition regarding the transistor, emitter, base and collector. So don't forget, keep in mind